What's up guys, and welcome back to yet another video. And today I'm gonna create a reggaeton beat which is inspired by Bad Bunny and J Balvin. The sample pack which I'm gonna use in this tutorial is called the Reggaeton Producer Kit. It will be out soon, so keep an eye on my channel. So I will keep you guys updated, and right now I'm gonna start off with the tutorial. So for me, when it comes to starting off creating a reggaeton beat, I'm just looking for an awesome synth or something. So which I always like to use when it comes to creating a reggaeton beat is Anuel AA from Arturia. A lot of vintage synths in it, so let's check it out. And right now I want to start off maybe with a percussive sound. Let's start off with a melody, for example. This definitely sounds like something which Tainy could use in one of his beats. So for example, let's start off with this one. Right now I want to create a slow but vibey beat. And for reggaeton, normally I pick a BPM between 80 and 100 BPM. So right now let's adjust it to 92. So for this beat I want to add a more dark vibe. So we have to pick a scale which really represents that vibe. So I think for this one, E minor is perfect. So scale highlighting and then E and then minor natural. So let's start off with this chord. So we also have some birds ambience in the background, which I think sounds pretty great. For now the key is way too high, so let's lower it down one octave. That sounds crazy. So copy the whole chord progression. Making this one shorter, going back to B2 right here. Just follow this chord. And then create something 1/3 right here. Like this. Copy this one. That's crazy. So I've made some more adjustments to the chord progression, strummized the melodies. You could do this by pressing Option S and then play around. So right now it sounds perfect. Lower down the volume or velocity of the notes, so you create more kind of an underwater effect. So right now it still sounds way too dry. So I'm adding maybe a little bit of the birds texture in the background. So right now I'm gonna add some basic elements to this beat. So let's use Serum, and I'm gonna add a bass line. So I'm using my Serum bass presets pack, which is available on my website, and I'm gonna use the Serum bass preset 3. Let's close up. So let's close this one, and then just copy the root notes. Control V, quantize them one octave higher. Adding this deep and crunchy bass to the chord progression really adds another dimension to the melody sound. So let's use another layer. I'm going to use the Prophet VS5, which is an awesome vintage synthesizer recreated by Arturia. This is just a chord progression without any strumming or whatever. And I'm just scrolling through the presets. Let's use this one. And right now I'm going to use one of my favorite plugins, which is the Melodies 5. And the presets from the Melodies 5 are used in a lot of modern reggaeton beats. Especially the first preset, the strawberry flutes. This one. Searching for some crazy keys. So for example, let's use this one. And just copy the chord progression from the Prophet into this one. For now it still sounds way too harsh, so let's just link all those elements to the mixer. Turn down the volume. Because I want the melody to be our main sound. So right now when it comes to creating a reggaeton beat, when you listen closely to a beat from, for example, Tainy or Sky Rompiendo, they are adding a lot of effects to the synths. And in this case we're using very similar synths. So let's start off with the melodies from Anuel AA 5. And first I'm gonna add a kickstart. And this is something crucial which Tainy uses in a lot of his beats. So this is a sidechain and the sound is just bumping in the beginning. So it sounds pretty wavy. Adjust the mix. Or in this plugin they call it the docking effect. So right now, maybe let's add some more reverb. Removing the low frequencies from the reverb. Opening up the high cut to 20,000 Hertz. And before the reverb, I want to remove some frequencies which I don't like. So I'm going to use the Pro EQ3, but you can also use the stock plugin, the EQ2. And I'm going to remove some low frequencies because later on I'm going to add the Subbass for Reggaeton. And this one contains some more frequencies from 0 to 80 Hertz. So I want to remove the frequencies from around 100 Hertz. So those frequencies are not interfering with each other. Like this. So the synth is basically right here. Boost them a little bit. 1.5 dB. We could also use some chorus from the June 6. Use a deep chorus preset. 16% of mix. So that's it. And now I'm gonna add the second layer. And also let's use a shitload of reverb on this one. Remove the pre-delay and just add some ambience. But right now the high frequencies are a little bit too sharp. So I'm also removing the low frequencies using this low cut, and I remove some of the high frequencies using a high cut. Great addition. And then right now add some more delay, which is in the background. Then the serum bassline. So I'm going to remove the distortion, which you also could disable right here, but it just makes the sound a little bit more present. So you could first maybe add some more distortion or whatever, and then just remove it by using a low pass or high cut filter. So in this case, use a high cut filter. Remove the crunchy sound, which you can see right here. And we're now enabling the Mellotron. Also going to remove some of the high frequencies on this one, because they're way too present. Perfect, blends perfect together. And the final thing which you want to add is a simple compressor. So a down upwards compressor from OTT, which is by the way a free plugin. So make sure to download this one. And this one is really pushing the sound. And when it comes to the volume, make sure this one hits around -15 dB. So right now I'm disabling the bassline, and right now it comes to the crazy part of this tutorial, the drums. And when it comes to creating reggaeton drums, those are just very simple. It's most of the times a basic rhythm. And when it comes to creating the typical reggaeton rhythm which you want to create, let's just draw in the triplet rhythm. So those are 3 notes within half a step. So let's have a listen to this one. So I'm starting off with this rhythm, and I've also created this kick, which is an awesome one. So I'm starting off with this simple kick progression. But right now we have the kick and the snare playing at the same time, so at the first step. So right now let's remove this one. And this is the structure when it comes to creating typical reggaeton drums. So it's way much cleaner. And right now just add another layer to keep it a little bit more interesting. So I'm gonna add a hi-hat. Just add a little bit more rhythm. Make sure to adjust the volume of the first one. And right now I'm gonna add the typical reggaeton bass. And I'm gonna use the Mini V3. And this one contains a preset which I almost use every time when it comes to creating a reggaeton beat, a bass you will use. I think Tainy uses this one in one of his pitchfork tutorials. So let's use this one. And then make sure to adjust the cutoff frequency, because right now it contains a lot of high frequencies. And as I already mentioned before, I just want to add low frequencies when it comes to the bass. So 40 is too low, so we just want to add a little bit more Mid frequencies around 60 Hz is perfect. And then start off at A3. Follow the root notes. For right now, as you can hear, it sounds way too flat and it isn't that groovy. And when you want to add more groove to your reggaeton bass line, you have to add notes in between, which still sound very logic. So adding something right here, so still within the scale. Maybe remove this one, so maybe too high. So let's have a listen again. And I'm not adding one right here because the chord progression is switching up. So we just have this one chord. And to keep it a little bit more interesting, I'm adding this F right here. So it's not that necessary to add something right here. Always keep in mind when you create a beat, simplicity is the key. When you're adding too much elements, it's gonna be a mess. So keep it clean and simple. So right now it's still missing something. So I'm gonna scroll through my sample packs and add a vocal sample. So I found this vocal sample from Sematics, which is also in E minor. So chopping up the first part. And this vocal chop goes perfect together with the notes. I don't like this part that much, so just let's loop this one. And then also link it to the mixer and use a high cut filter, pushing it to the background. Just again add some reverb. So right now I link the elements to the mixer and I'm also adding the bass line. So I have the kick and the mini V3 bass and I want to sidechain the kick from the mini V3. So right now select the kick, right mouse button on this arrow right here and then sidechain to this track. So right now open up the mini V3. And I'm going to use Kickstart. You could also use the Fruity Limiter, but I highly prefer the Kickstart plugin because it's way more precise and you could easily tweak it and create an awesome and clean mix. So let's open up the processing and then select Node 1. And then as you can see, because we've sidechained the kick to this track, the kick pops up. Open up the plugin again and then select audio. So right now the plugin is reading the external sidechain audio. Then I pick the classic chain and then adjust the envelope. Maybe a little bit more attack. So right now the bass is sidechained from the kick. In the end, creates a way cleaner mix. So this is a crucial mixing tip when it comes to creating a reggaeton beat. So that's it when it comes to creating other elements. I hope you enjoyed it. And right now I'm going to create the final beat and show you the result. So this is the final beat. I've added some more automations. For example, on a mullet, this one. Removed all the high frequencies. Using this one. And I've created an envelope. Pretty easy to create an envelope. Just select this one, make sure to select the frequency band, then select tools, last tweaked, and then create automation clip. And as you can see, we've created an envelope and just right now, just play around with the knobs until you like it. So I've automated the sidechain kickstart on the mallets and also automated the pitch of the bass line, which is an awesome effect. So the pitch bend sounds like this. And it just makes it more hard hitting when the drums are coming in. So no more talking and we're just gonna have a listen to the final result. So I've added some more texture to the beat. This one, this sample from my sample pack. Bassline coming in. Remove the notes right here. Should create kind of build up. Coming in right here. Coming in with the original melody pattern or melody. Push the vocal even more to the background. Create this kind of kick roll, this one, which is very common in reggaeton. Still very simple and chill beat, that's the whole point of this beat. Hook coming in again. Or maybe this is the pre-bridge. And the hook again. And that's it, man. So that's it for this tutorial. And now I'm gonna wrap up the video. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to stay tuned for my new Reggaeton producer kit. It's coming soon, I will keep you updated. Also make sure to hit that like button, and most of you guys who are watching aren't even subscribed, so make sure to smash that subscribe button. So that's it for this one, and I hope to see you in the next tutorial.